Hey everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite here. Early morning. We're in Last Cloudia, FTC compliant vid for adult. But there's a couple things that I feel like we really need to talk about. We're gonna be talking about Zouglas and that awesome weapon of his that makes him glow red that you have to pay out the ass for. But before we get to that, in my last video, somebody left me a comment. I misread it. I misunderstood it. And I didn't mean to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm going to call myself out on it. Cool boy. Kooiboy. Coy boy. I'm sorry, dude. I owe you an apology. I misread your comment. Pretty much he said something about a tot vid. I thought he was implying that I was making a vid for little kids. I'm sorry, I misread it. I was in a rush. What he meant was tot is in TOT, Tower of Trial vid. So I'm sorry, bro. Didn't mean to offend you at all. Didn't mean to tease you, because he did say after I replied to him, I was like, well, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. And he's like, well, you kind of did now. So that made me feel bad. This is one of my subscribers. You guys do mean a lot to me. You're not just some faceless, nameless crowd. The reason I do this is to have a comment section so that we can talk about stuff. I enjoy talking to every single one of you. And if I ever somehow hurt your feelings or insult you, it's probably not on purpose. So please give me a chance to make it right. Especially if you're a longtime subscriber of mine, you should know me by now. I'm a pretty good guy, and you guys mean the world to me. Truthfully. Alright, so on to the next order of business. We've been talking about Zouglas, and sorry guys, I've been up all night, a lot of work to do. We've been talking about Zouglas. I was lucky to get him, right? And then we were talking about Zouglas' sword. Let's have a look at this bad boy real quick. Zouglas' sword, I was talking about it. It makes him glow red. And it's just like Davin's sword, right? Like Davin had the equivalent to this. It actually had the same strength, 135, and it was earth element. It's something Davin needed so he could use earth attack rise with his basic attacks and just strengthen those. This is different than Devin's weapon, and I'll tell you why. Pretty much with Davin, that was really the only weapon we could get for him that really fit his build, to my knowledge, that had earth element and everything like that. And I didn't have a problem getting it because I actually had to pull for Davin, right? Now this sword right here, the Scarlet Blade, for Zuggy, it costs 50 of these hero credentials. Let's just really do the math on that real quick. 50 hero credentials is 50 summons. If you're going to purchase 50 summons in this game, to do those summons, to get that weapon, let's see, 50 summons is what? 10 summons is 3,000 crystals. So 50 of them. It's kind of early in the morning. My math's not that great. But, let's see. Hold on. I confused myself already. Blah. So we need 50 of those credentials. To summon 10, it costs 3,000. So we need 15,000 lapis. You have to pour 15,000 in to get those 50 credentials, right? Yeah, that sounds right to me. If I'm wrong, I'm sure I'll get crucified over it. But that's 15,000 lapis for you to have enough to get that sword. And if we look here at how much, 15,000 of these lapis will cost us, for 80 bucks, we get 8,000. So you can pretty much double this, and you're going to get a little over. 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is giving you 9 for 80. So you're talking about like $150 that you have to spend to get that sword for him so that he glows red. And if not, then I guess you're kind of shafted because there's not really much else he can use. And that's even what I was saying, is I will just wait until there's another sword readily available that's dark element that Zouglas can use, and I'll be happy with it because I got Zouglas pretty much for free. This is why I'm making this video, because there is a sword for Zouglas. You do not have to spend over $100 to do mindless summons just to get that weapon. So I wanted to rush this video out to let people know before they break the bank just trying to get that sword. In this event right here, this event that we're doing, fragments of a hero, Zouglas' event, I'll click on it real quick. If we actually look at the prizes that we get, and I've rushed this a little bit because I thought it was pretty cool. One of these items, it's down here somewhere. I'm sure plenty of people haven't made it this far down the list yet, so I wanted to get this video out before. So let's see, where is it? Where is it? I couldn't have missed it already. Oh, these are the ones I still have to get. Hold on, I gotta scroll down further. I gotta scroll down to the ones that I've already gotten. So pretty much there is actually a weapon in this event for Zouglas in case you can't get his weapon. They did not do this with Davin, so that was kind of surprising. We'll go ahead and take a look at this weapon because I do have it on my Zouglas right now. Jeez, where is this thing? Couldn't have been this far down here. How am I missing this thing? Here it is. Here it is right here. You have to get to 100,000 points to unlock this thing. This is what it looks like. It's not letting me click on it, but I will show you the weapon. And I actually think it's a wonderful weapon for Zouglas because it does something very special for him. Let's take a look at my Zouglas real quick. I have filled Zouglas's tree out. And actually what's funny today is with my daily pull, I got the dude with the giant penis gun. What's his name? The Destroyer. I got this guy today. I was kind of hoping to get that arc. This guy fell instead. Luger, King of Destruction. Really not going to complain. It's another character. It's pretty cool, right? But where is Zug? Here he is. Zouglas is at level 73. After a little bit of deliberation, I thought, you know what? I might as well get the experience boost for him because Zouglas is such a big deal to me. It only cost 100 lapis, so I went ahead and did it. So that's why I was able to get him from like level 50 to 73 pretty much overnight. I'll show you guys his skill tree. I managed to get most of his good abilities. The only ones I didn't get are just some of these magic abilities. But my Zuggy now has Shadow Sword, which is kind of important because when a sword is equipped, dark physical attack damage plus 40%. So if you give him a dark sword, he's going to do more with it. This is really going to apply to that because a dark sword is going to do dark physical damage. So other than that, I got all his other stuff too. I got Stance of Dusk so that he just, is oblivious to a lot of elements. Soul Induction, this is the last one I have to get. I didn't get Soul Induction yet because it's a move. It's not one of my favorite moves. I did manage to get, where's the other one? Gia Buster. Gia Buster is my favorite move that he does. I just think it's awesome. So I'm fairly close Like, to get this last one, I'm short 20 of these blue crystals. I got pretty much everything else. I have a good idea of how Zouglas is to play. Um, so now let's look at the weapon that I picked up for him. And remind me, guys, before I forget, we're going to look at my rogue too, because I did get some new gear for my rogue. And it's a downgrade that's an upgrade. And you guys will see what I'm talking about. So, here is the Calamitous. That's what this sword is called. Okay, so instead of doing 135 damage, this thing only does 82 damage. And I know you're thinking, like, that's a huge difference, the sword's not worth it. But this sword also gives 25 defense. For someone like Zuggy, that's huge. 25 more defense from a weapon is a big deal to him, because of course Zuggy gets 20% more defense, so his weapon having a defensive stat really helps with that, and he's going to have a really high defense. And then also he's going to get damage reduction against bosses, so having a super high defense to go with that damage reduction with the bosses just makes a ton of sense to me. So as far as I'm concerned, it might only do 82 attack, but it's also giving you 25 shield. So this sword to me is still worth 100 flat stats. You're just getting 80 of them towards your attack, and you're getting 25 of them towards your defense. But that's not the best part. The important thing, the main thing that this sword does, is when guard is equipped, it gives you a plus 3% guard rate. And when guard activates, you're going to take 5% less damage. That doesn't sound like that much, but it's actually quite a big deal. We just got done talking about how Lance Evil is the best tank because he can actually augment his guard rate. Okay? So, even though I have the Imperial Army Shield, which is kind of bunk, and the Warning Bell, which is kind of a low tier item, along with this sword and the extra, 3% to your guard and 5% less damage, it all starts to become, a pretty complete tank package for him. I've estimated that with that extra 3% and the Warning Bell and the Army Shield, this guy's almost at a 20% block rate. That 20% is going to proc a ton of his tank abilities that he has. They're going to help him heal. They're going to help him mitigate a ton of damage. They're going to help him recover some SCT because of all those abilities he has tied in with guard. So anything that can increase his actual guard rate is a big deal to him. So honestly, I'm very happy with this sword. I would not even dream of dropping over $125 to get a sword that has 40 more attack and makes him glow red and doesn't have any defense and doesn't increase your guard rate. Zouglas is one of these characters that you're going to want to guard. This really helps to kind of take him to the top of the tank list, still underneath Lance Evil, but remember, this guy can use killers, so that goes a long way. The other thing too is I'm sure fairly soon we will get a better, more improved version of the Imperial Army Shield. I know this already because we have an ice shield. And hey, maybe we'll even get a better Warning Bell. Obviously, hopefully we can get a piece of armor that increases your guard chance too. So this is cool, and this is something that he's going to use. I don't think Lance Evil would want to use this sword, even if it's going to give him a little higher chance to guard, because this is a dark element sword. So this works super well. It's built for this guy. We get it in the event. So if you do have this character and for some reason you're sleeping on the event, don't. You're going to want the sword either way. And then if you do want to spend the capital to get the other sword for a little bit more damage, less defense, and a less guard chance, hey, you can do that too. But I am keeping this. I'm more than happy with this. I could give a shit less if it makes him glow or not. So that's where I'm at with my Zuggy. I wanted to get that out there for everybody. And look, this guy's resistances are great. He gets 10% resistance to everything except for light. Light is this guy's only weakness. You gotta figure, with that ability he has, he's only going to take half of fire, ice, lightning, and dark. So like these 10 resistances, they might as well be 60% resistances. So I think that's pretty cool. Alright. And let's see, is there anything else in his equipment? No, that's pretty much it. We covered it. This is what I'm running right now. I can change a few things around, but really don't need to. If we look at this guy's core stats, he's got almost 5k hit points. His strength is 868. Doesn't sound like much, but trust me, when his abilities proc, it becomes ridiculous. His defense is 1200. In battle, it's more like 15 or 1600. And I do believe that once one of his abilities procs, when he gets close to death, he almost has an 1800 defense, which is actually up there with Lance Evil. And of course, like I said, Lance Evil's guard is going to proc a little more often, but they pretty much both have the same guard skills that apply to their guard. Mine 571. Again, this guy doesn't really need mine because he's going to be ignoring half of all of the elements that you throw at him. So I've even managed to awaken him once. So cool. I did play through his story. It's pretty nifty. A lot of carnage. I definitely dig that. Zouglas is a goddamn juggernaut. He is a force to be reckoned with. He has slain a ton of heroes. I absolutely loved it. So now that we have 102 out of 108 of his skills, I can finally start using this guy and actually wreaking some havoc with him. So that's where I am on the Zouglas front. Towards the end of this, I'll try to go and run some stuff so you can see what he can really do. There's obviously still some more abilities I want to put on him. What was it called? Not Pirate's Feast, but Determination. I think Determination would be great on him. The one skill I was very surprised with, I will show you guys right now. I know it's right next to Increase Attack Max. Here it is, Awaken. Recovers hit points and increase strength, defense, mind, and movement speed when close to death one time. I thought this was going to give him a stat boost and, just give him a bump in his hit points. Guys, Awaken is absolutely effing insane. When this did proc, it healed him to full health, and then his stats just became monstrous. Like, that is when I saw him with like 1700 defense. He just was not getting scratched. And of course, his strength went from, 900 right now. It was at like 14 or 1500. Very good for Zouglas, very solid. And of course, his abilities were hitting for a ton, right? So along the way, I had to grind out a lot of crystals for this guy, and some good stuff happened with my rogue. We're going to talk about that. Here's the progress that I made with my rogue. Got very lucky, and we're going to talk about some equipment that you might want to get for your rogue. As you can see here on my rogue, he has the Warhammer of Destruction. I had a sword that gave 5% crit rate, but it did 101 damage. In fact, we'll look at this sword. From everyone's videos that I've seen, this is the default farming weapon. The Star Sword Lamadus. I can't really see it well. Anyway, the Star Sword is typically what everyone says, use this sword to farm with because it gives you critical. There is a better weapon to farm. It gives you the same amount of critical as the sword, and it is this hammer. The reason the hammer's better is because it only has 54 attack. The sword has 100. So you're gonna do less damage with the hammer. You're gonna be less likely to kill your opponent, and you're gonna be able to score more critical hits on your opponent, and that's gonna help you proc extort before you kill your enemy. So since I've switched to this hammer, I've had a lot better luck. I mean, I'm getting more items. I also managed to get ninja apparel. Ninja apparel is great for farming items because first of all, it boosts your movement speed. So movement speed, in a way, it increases your attack speed because you can start attacking faster, because you can get into your enemy's you can get your enemy in your threat zone faster. A lot of times before your enemy can swing, you can already get a couple hits in. Also, it costs a fortune in skill cost to actually improve somebody's movement with skill points. It's like 8 or 9 SC. Instead of spending 8 or 9 SC, you can just put on the ninja apparel, and you're still going to get decent armor. You're going to get 78 defense, and you're going to get 43 magic defense. It's very nice for a rogue. So for farming ninja apparel, that's the way to go. The most important thing it does has a probability of avoiding physical attacks. The rogue has this built in. This really helps you farm because you're less likely to have your attack interrupted by the enemy. And I'm sure you guys have all been there. Say you're fighting a bunch of the fish people and they have those long spears. When they hit you with those, they can push you back, and they push you outside of their threat range, and they stop your attack. When I charge those fish people and I start doing my attack, I do not want my combo interrupted. And I see it happen all the time. They throw attacks at me, and because I can dodge them with evade, their attacks don't count, and my combo keeps going. And that is when I can string them all up together and keep my combo going on them and kill them all before crit expires. It just gives me a smoother experience. So all in all, ninja apparel, great for farming. Warhammer of Destruction, you can pick this up at one of the shops for cheap. Just check all the shops on the map. You will find this hammer. It's got a low attack. It's got a high crit. The ninja apparel you do have to grind out from, I can't remember what the arc, Moonlight Murder. So both of these right here, this is my number one farming gear right here. I'm able to get more crits, and I'm able to extort more items without killing people. The Deadly Choker's always been here. And the creme de la effing creme, the Bangle of the Master Thief. Haha, I finally got this bad boy. I've been working on the pirate ship's Trustmaster for a while now. The first thing I got was the Mana Sword, then I started putting all of my ethers into the pirate ship to get the Bangle of the Master Thief, because this just really sets a rogue off. Now not only can I extort people, but when I'm done extorting them and I deliver the killing blow, I have a chance to get an item from there as well. Let's see. Yep, chance to obtain an item upon defeating an enemy. So I just got this. I'm super psyched, very happy, and this just should show you how much I've been grinding out gems. So my rogue is all set. He is all good to go. I will show you guys what is on, what skills are on my rogue, so you guys got a good idea of what an actual farming rogue looks like. And check this out, you might be surprised. The idea is here, look, none of the attacks are equipped onto him. Everything I have is defense. I have MP on him, so he has enough magic points to keep casting critical on himself. It's pretty much a tank build for a rogue. I don't want him to do damage. I want him to do crits and proc extort. And even with all this, it still takes me a while to proc extort. The next thing I want to do is put the foreign land, I want to call it materia, the foreign land arc on him so he can learn fast crit. Fast crit only takes 1 or 2 SC, and it automatically casts critical on you when the battle starts, so you really don't have to do that. Alright, but let's look at the rest of what I got here. I got a bunch of defense up, right? No attack at all. And obviously I have a bunch of magic defense too that I'm not using. If I was farming a level with a bunch of mages, then obviously yes, I would change out the defense for the magic defense. I have crit up as much as I can for the sake of him getting crits and extorting people. Hey, extortion's not easy, right? Aim vitals I don't have because it adds damage to critical hits. I don't want to kill my enemy. I might have to get a ton of critical hits on one of these guys before I can actually extort them. So aim vitals is not a good idea. Proud force is, because you want to be able to keep yourself healed. Once in a while, your rogue's going to get stunned or shocked, paralyzed for a minute. He needs to have a big enough hit point pool and enough defense to ride that out. And then when you start scoring crits, you can start healing yourself. Of course, we have guard and vigilance, just so he can guard a couple hits here and there. I don't have heal guard or grand guard. It just takes too many points. It's not worth it. And these guard abilities, this is why it's so important for Zouglas to have that extra 3% to his guard and the warning bell and all that stuff, because when when Zuggy guards, he's gonna trick Grand Guard and Heal Guard and Steel Guard and all these guard abilities that he has for free. But the Rogue, I don't need him to do all that. So we have all these killers. I'm not taking any of them. None of these are gonna help me get crits, and if anything, these are gonna kill the enemy even faster before I can extort from them. Other than that, all the way down here, I did have blind research on, because of the simple fact that the arc that I was putting on my rogue to farm, if the rogue blinds you with the arc that he was wearing, and I'll show you guys the arc, if your enemy's blind, you have 100% crit rate on them. So that's why I want blind research on him, so he can go around blinding people. If I have that arc on him, as soon as you're blind, he gets 100% crit rate, which means it's going to be easier for him to extort from you. Other than that, all the offensive abilities I have, they're off. Instead, I have things like fast metis. This helps in case somebody casts a spell. This gives me some resiliency to it. I should have fast protection on him too, but I ran out of SC. No fury, no patience. Accelerate. Accelerate's good because you always want your rogue to have increased movement speed. A lot of times it costs a lot. He gets it for free, and along with the shinobi armor he has that increases his movement speed too, it's very nice. A lot of times the rogue can start getting a combo on the enemy before they can even charge their attack up, and that's really what you want. Other than that, I have a bunch of nifty things here that can cause damage, but instead, Pose of Victory, Pose of Glory, these are things that are just going to keep him healed. Really, and that's it. Sky High I don't take because I don't want him to do more damage. Notice right here, Surprise Attack, nope. No backstab. This is going to make damage. We don't want damage. We want crits that barely hit. Head Bash. I do have Head Bash on him, so he can knock people out and then take his time scoring crits. Everything, all of this, the means to the end is extort. All of this is to extort. So in order to extort, maximum critical, minimal damage, try to, if I'm fighting 5 mobs, I want to extort something from every single one of them. And that's hard to do. Chances are you're probably only going to get extort out of maybe 3, maybe 4 if you're lucky. Conversation's important because it helps the rogue get healed. Every 5-6 seconds it's going to heal him for a couple hundred. It's very nice when your rogue gets stunned and he can keep getting healed. So that helps him keep going. Notice no impact, no double impact, no triple impact. These are all going to kill your opponent before you can steal from them. I even took quick trigger off. axes. I put axes because crit rate against stones plus 10%. Crit rate is going to help you get extort as long as your damage isn't too high and you're not insta-killing everybody with your crits. I put this on for all the rock golems that I fight when I'm grinding out. I think it's the green gems. There's a ton of rock people, rock golems. Axes is going to make it easier to extort them because it's going to increase your crit. And other than that, that's pretty much it. So everything's scaled down to do no damage whatsoever and just get a ton of crits. But the only magic spell that I take is critical because it costs him nothing. And that's it. This is what my farming rogue looks like. He has the bangle now. He's doing great. Absolutely love this character. So that should give you guys an idea of how to maximize gems. Because let me show you guys all the characters I have, and you would be surprised at how many of these characters are actually grinded out to a pretty good extent. Like, they have most of their kits. I have a lot of level 70 and 80 characters. They're not just level 70 and 80, they do have their abilities unlocked. So I have grinded out a ton of gems, and I just got that thief bangle now. So that's pretty cool. I can't wait to finish up all the rest of my characters with all those gems that I'm more easily able to grind out now. Alright, so recap. Go get that hammer, guys, for your rogue so that you're doing 50 damage instead of 100 and you're still getting that 5% crit. Some people even put dual wield on their rogue. I don't think I'd want to do that because between that sword, that's 100 damage, and that warhammer's 50. Yeah, you're gonna get 10% crit, but it's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more damage. So you guys saw how my rogue is. He is doing awesome in low tier farming. I'm farming not the easy level, but the normal level, and I get hella drops there. And it only costs me 1 orb to run. I've done the tests and the benchmarks. I can go run the hardest level, which costs 2 orbs to run. I don't seem to get as many resources if I run the normal level twice, because the normal level only costs 1 orb. So that's just what I've noticed. Also, because I'm working on so many characters at the same time, I need a lot of the smaller gems. If you run the really hard level, you're going to get more of the big gems and none of the small ones. I find that the normal level is going to give you a pretty good balance of both, and I've done plenty good there. So those are the changes I just made to my rogue with the pirate ship that I got. And actually what I'm working on now is the Pokey Eater, because it has Corrosion Fang and Poison Research. This isn't typically what I have on my rogue though. This Corrosion Fang, I think I'm going to teach this to Zouglas. I think it'd be pretty good for him. But typically, can we change this? Typically, the arc that I run on my rogue, where is it? It's Cavern Ale, and let me tell you guys why. You guys saw that my rogue has the ability to blind people. And this arc right here is when blind is in effect, critical rate of physical attacks plus 100%. Chance of critical attacks to trigger drain. I don't really care about the drain. I just care that all my attacks have a 100% chance critical, so that I can extort, just more items out of everybody. Also, this is a nice arc because it teaches triple impact. So that's what's going on. The next thing I will be working on is, here it is. I just got this bad boy. I do love this foreign land arc. Attack up, aim vitals, illusion. Illusion is something that's going to help your rogue slip through some attacks so that his combo doesn't get broken. And if they can't break your rogue's combo, he can effectively juggle the enemy and not give him that much time to retaliate. And that's how your rogue is going to get away with scoring a bunch of crits, even though he's not doing that much damage, and winning the fight, because he's just going to keep a steady onslaught of attacks. Of course, fast critical is here. This is the ability I want to get next. Automatically activates critical at the start of the battle. Only costs 2 SC. This is a no-brainer for me. I also want this on Blood Rose, because Blood Rose, his ability to break Dark Element is based off of how many critical hits he can get. His crits have a chance to break Dark. So can't wait to teach this to Blood Rose and to anybody else that I want to crit all the time. Stone Slayer, great, whatever, but really this has Sharp Eyes. This is a 9 SC ability. I do want to teach Sharp Eyes to Zouglas. That is definitely next. You guys already know that. I've been talking to you about that. And while we're at it, let us see what I have taught Zouglas so far. Because Zouglas is really doing good. In fact, sorry, I feel like I don't even have that much room for Sharp Eyes on Zouglas right now. Set skill. Here's what's on Zouglas. Bunch of health. Crit up, guard, steel guard. Look at all these guard abilities he gets for free. So this is why it's nice to have that extra 3% to guard from your weapon, on top of having 20 something more defense. I think this works out really well, because off of guard and vigilance, you got steel guard, you got guard charge, you got grand guard, you got guard impact. All of these things depend on guard to proc. So for your weapon to increase the chance of guard procking, that's really good. Other than that, I got a couple different killers and stuff I can swap out. Household of Ruin is great. I did get that for him. Took me a little while, but just wonderful. This makes him damn near impervious to dark attack, and it makes him a god type. So yeah. And then Awaken. I was very surprised at what Awaken does. When his health gets low, he instantly gets fully healed, and he gets a ton of stats. So it's pretty amazing. That's why I wanted to get Determination with it, because then Zouglas would be damn near impossible to kill. You get him low on health, Awaken kicks in, he's back at full health. Then you kill him again, Determination kicks in, and he comes back to life, and then you can try to heal, you can try to do all sorts of stuff. In fact, I think there's even another one you can stack on top of that where he'll come back again. But resiliency is the key word here with Zouglas. Very awesome character. Very happy with him. And right here, armor high boost. It's another reason why it's a good idea to have a weapon that adds to his defensive stat, right? Because the higher you can get your defense, well, you're going to get 20% more defense. And then on top of that, you're just going to take that much less damage from bosses. Not only are you going to have a freakishly high defensive stat from all those bonuses and all those different sources, but then, your boss is going to do 20% less to you. So this is where my Zuggy is now. He is pretty much capped out on abilities. I'm going to have to find a way to put Keen Eyes in here. I'm going to need 9 more SC. But other than that, Zuggy is doing good. In fact, let's see. What can Zuggy clear? The last time I had Zuggy run something, it really wasn't that impressive. It was just at the White Lab, and I was benchmarking. So I was only running him with 20 SC because obviously I was still trying to compare him to the other stuff I have. Let's see if we can find something fun for Zuggy to run. I wish I had one more of these. See, I don't want to spend 100 crystals just to recover one more of these. So, is there anything else we can do down here? Oh, I know what we can do. We'll run the one that only costs 4 instead of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. Okay, well this one only costs 3. This is for a level 50 party, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 7 red star map. It's for a level 50 party. I'm just gonna run it with Zuggy all by himself. I was running this one, this level 61, and this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is an A-star difficulty, and in this one I did get his awaken ability to proc. It was pretty cool. Let's see if we can get it to proc again, just by, you know, kind of letting them kick our ass for a little bit. We'll go with no support. And here's my Zuggy party. I was running the pirate ship just to try to get it to 100%. Do I want this on him? Breaker, high, counter, fish slayer. Well, it does have determination. That might be nice to have for him. Actually, let's see, what else did I have? We got this, attack ups, fast critical. But it doesn't have sharp eyes yet, so I'm not going to put that on him yet. You know what? That has dual wield. We don't need that. Oh, I think I was doing the Divine Beast Hunter, because it has God Killer, Aim Vital, Sky High, Blessed Speed. What's Flying Shadow? Increased movement speed. Now, you know what? I think we will just keep the pirate ship for now. He's already got kind of a head start, and I wouldn't mind having all the pirate ships down here. Sorry guys, I'm tired. It was down here. What happened to that thing? Oh, it's already selected. Huh. Alright, so we will run this, see how Zouglas does. I'll try to take it easy and just not instantly slaughter everything, but this will give you a good idea. And hopefully we'll let them beat up on us for a little bit so that some of his abilities can proc and we can look at Zuggy's stats. Now, mind you, he's wearing just some of the lamest accessories. They don't really give him any stats, they just increase his chance of guarding. So a lot of his good stuff is just coming from his kit. And look, Zouglas already kind of he already kind of glows red. We'll run away. Let's let them hit us with some stuff. He's doing pretty good damage. Oh. Let's take a look at what our Zuggy looks like in the middle of combat. Here's his stats. He's got 10, 87 strength. His defense is already 1504, right? And nothing's procced yet. Intelligence 502, mind 736, which is pretty impressive considering that he's just, you know, he's only going to take half damage anyway. Just traits and skills. We already went through all over that. So I'm going to run Zuggy around so he can take some damage, so you guys can see what his full potential is. He's guarding. He's guarding. You know what? Let's see. Auto drive off. That's what. I don't want Zuggy just slaughtering everything on his own. Auto attack. Turn that off. Now there we go. So I should be able to get Zuggy just to stand here. There we go. He's going to stand here. He's not going to do anything until I tell him to. Now, I wish I could have, like, in my farming party, I wish that people on my team, the other characters I bring, I wish I could have them just stand around without retaliating or doing anything, because that's the problem I have. If I try to run another rogue off my friends list, they're going to go through and just kill everything because everybody builds their rogues for super high attack. I wish I could bring a friends list unit with me and just have them literally stand there like this and absorb damage so that my rogue can actually get all that good stuff to proc and he can actually extort people. But check this out, with that sword and with the guard bell and with the guard stuff I have on him, he's actually guarding quite a bit. He's guarding more than Maddie ever would. He's guarding more than anybody other than Lance Evil. And there's another guard right there. He's only taking half the earth damage anyway. Go ahead. Guard charge, guard charge. Oh, we got hit. Now we are weak to light. There's another guard stance. Now I've been benchmarking tanks for a while. I could never get tanks to guard this much. Guard charge, guard charge, guard, guard charge, guard. I could never, ever get the other tank. Maddie would never guard that much, ever. I don't know what the deal is. And look, his attacks do pretty good too. I do have triple impact on him. We do have some of our moves charged up. So, all in all, I'm fairly happy with Douglas. Let's try to take these guys out. Giga Buster, bam. We're just going to run right through that tornado. Might be another thing. I think maybe if you're spamming the attack button, your enemy's attack will get through. You actually have to maybe stop attacking to guard. I'm gonna research that because I haven't been able to get any other character to guard as much as I'm getting Zouglas to guard. Oh. Now, I haven't been able to book conservation on him or anything, so he has no way of gaining hit points back. Well, I have Yggdrasil here, so I can summon that. But there should be a boss here, especially in the next wave. Let's just crush these guys. Bam. And mind you, this is still a level 50 difficulty map. You're supposed to bring a level 50 party to this. He's a little bit higher than that, but... Alright, here's the boss. Let's see how he does. Start with a gravity hole. Just suck all these fools together. Alright. Guard. See, if I'm attacking, is he guarding? Let's see, there's some attacks. I didn't guard against him. Oh, there they go. They got me dazed. But you know, his hit points are holding up. Let's check his stats. Defense 1504. Okay. You know, 1500 defense isn't bad. It's a hell of a lot better than I've seen from Maddie, from anything Maddie can get. I'm sure Lance Evil can... I've seen Lance Evil with like 1800 defense for sure. Alright, they got us pinned to a corner. But we got a few tricks up our sleeve. Bam! That one just does so much. So interesting. So maybe the only way that your character will guard is if you're just not spamming the attack button. Okay, so our health is finally getting low because I've been sitting around. Okay, and there it goes. There it goes. His ability procced. Let's look at what his stats are. Okay, there it goes. There it goes. This is what's the important part here. His awaken kicked in because he did get low health. Remember, we just went over his stats. Now his strength is 1630. That's a lot better. And his defense is 2,131. His mind is 1,104. That is pretty effing impressive. His stats just went through the roof. This is so good for a boss's threshold. This is absolutely amazing. He's going to do so much damage. He's going to do so much everything now. He's tough, resilient. This is a damn tank, right? And I don't even have him fully built yet. I want Corrosive Fang on him so he can decrease people's, well, he doesn't decrease their defense. He's going to be increasing the damage that they take by 20%. So now we just have to finish this fool off. How about we use Giga Buster? And of course we're going to hit for max damage because remember, this guy's great at crushing thresholds. The lower your enemy's health is, the more damage he does. So that's why that one just hit for 9999. So this is my Zouglas in a nutshell. You do not need to get Zouglas' special weapon for $150 or whatever it is that they want you to throw on that banner just to get those hero credentials. Just play through the event. You will get an awesome sword for Zouglas, and honestly, with how defensive he is, this might be the sword to go for him. The other thing is too, he still seems to glow red. So I'll do that after I'm done with this vid. I will check to see if I take that sword off of him if he stops glowing red, but he was kind of glowing there for a minute too, so, or maybe that's just the way he is, but I think he does look a little bit different since I've equipped the sword on him. And again, you do get this sword from this event, so I wanted to get this out there before anybody, decided that they had to break the bank just because they want Zouglas to glow red and they want him to have that 135 attack dark weapon. There's a great weapon. It's comparable to that one in my personal opinion. It's giving you just as much stats. It's just not all attack stat. And I think the new SSR arc has a super awesome dark weapon for him, so I've been told. I haven't seen it myself. So there's going to be better dark weapons to get in the game down the road. So you just need something to hold you over for now. And this sword that they're giving us for free, it really helps him out. It's perfect for him. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm going to go with for now. Let's see. Is that arc in here? I wish I could look at the... this is what I'm talking about. These hero credentials. To do 50 of these, you're going to have to do 5 of these pulls at 3,000 apiece. Yeah, that's yeah, that's 15,000 lapis to do that, to get enough to get that. So I just can't justify doing it with 15,000 lapis. If you got 15,000 lapis, you might as well just save it for the next limited banner that you want with a character on it that you really want. And with 15,000 lapis, you might actually be able to get them. But the SSR Divine Beast arc is what I'm looking at. And actually, oddly enough, I think you might be able to get that arc. If you're just trying to get that arc, check the ticket gacha, because I thought I might have saw it in here. He is not in here. Let me just double check. There's Fel, there's Lena, there's Luger, Maddie, Phantom Thief Robin, Melza, Lukiel, God Hunter Shin, the Warlock, Lena the Warlock, Gorath the Giant, Blood Rose, Prince Grom, Dine, Robin, the Pirate, Gavin the Sky Hero, Killer Ice Princess, Princess Leela, Divine Beast. Yeah, no, those are all the heroes, but look at this arc. The SS arc, Divine Beast, Loon, whatever, that's in here. That is in here. So that arc is in here. Definitely. That's pretty awesome. So although you can't use a unit only gacha to pull Zouglas, you can use an SSR ticket like this. I don't know why I just clicked that. The odds of me getting an SSR arc that I don't effing have are just slim to none. But, well, I'd say luck's been on my side lately, but truth be told, there's like 1 out of a 20 chance that I'd get this arc. So, we just wasted this one. But, hey, you know, what are you going to do? A guy can hope. Might even be able to wish a little bit. But I ain't praying. Oh, it turned red. What a big surprise. So, this is what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to get this out there just so everybody knows. You don't need to break the bank for an awesome weapon for this guy. It's there. There will be a better weapon later. I'm sure that that Beast arc has a super powerful dark sword for him. But for now, just use the sword that the event's going to give you. It's going to do wonders for him. Even with kind of crappy gear, you guys saw the stats I managed to get him to. That's pretty impressive. So, at least it is to me. That's just my personal opinion. Alright? So, that's going to wrap this vid up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I helped any of you out. I did do a poll just for the sake of doing one. So, something to look forward to. I've done a lot of testing on Maddie. I did mention Maddie in the last vid. I don't want anyone to get sore over it because I didn't say like the best stuff in the world about her. I'm going to do a vid on Maddie explaining my point of view on her and where I think she stands in this game. She's not a terrible character, right? But if you try to do her tank build that utilizes her actual awesome crowd control kit, which is what I want to do, there's some issues there. We'll go over them, and I'm going to tell you guys how I think they could have fixed Maddie and made her a much better character. But that's for another video. I got no beef with Maddie. I know she has some diehard fans out there, and she should, because her skill kit, some of those moves are just amazing. They're fun, and they're awesome to play with. So that'll be the next vid to come, and I've been working on that for a while, hence all of the benchmarks that I've been doing with tanks and everything. A lot of that revolved around Maddie. So I'll be sharing that pretty soon with you guys. Something to look forward to. Other than that, everybody have an awesome day. This guy's up for plenty of days. He's an awesome character. I hope you have a chance to pull him, and if you do, don't rape yourself over a sword when there's one, arguably in my opinion, that's just as good that the event's going to give us for free. So, Mobile Gamers Unite. I hope I've helped any of you out. The comments are always open. So if you guys want to add anything to that, please leave me a comment. I read them all, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Have a nice day, everybody. Peace.